everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Evore, as you all know, and with me today I have
April Smith.
Thank you, April, for coming on my platform today. So, do you mind telling us a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. I am, again, April Smith, and I am a mother of two daughters, ages 27 and 26. I'm also a wife. Just celebrated 18 years of marriage as of December 27. I'm also a nene. And you're probably thinking, what is that? What is a nene? I'm a grandmother, believe it or not. My grandsons Josiah and Elijah are ages 11 and 8. And I am grateful to say that I am a breast cancer warrior. I am, as of February 2019, 2023, I will be 10 years free of breast cancer.
Oh wow, that's amazing. First of all, you just dropped a lot of bomb. You just said you have a 26-year-old and 28, right?
26 and 27, yes. The one that's 27 will be 28 in July.
Wow. And then wait, you're a nene.
I'm a nene.
Oh my gosh.
That's right.
When she walked into there, I told her, I said she doesn't look her age. She really doesn't. I want to be like you when I grow up.
Thank you.
The genes are good. Okay, thank you. So I have a few questions that I want to ask you. You said you're a breast cancer survivor, and you're going to be 10 years free, cancer-free next year.
Right.
So how did it start? At what point did you realize that you had cancer, and what were the symptoms?
It was my husband that found my lump. We were driving home from work. He had just picked me up from work, and he had bumped my breast. He was trying to get my attention while he was driving, and he was like, "You have a lump in your breast." And I felt it, and I was like, "It's probably nothing." I was 33 at the time. So to myself, I was young, so I didn't think anything of it. But curiosity set in. So when I got home, I went to Dr. Google, and I did some research, lumps in the breast, and to my surprise, Dr. Google said it was a cyst. As you know, you can Google anything, and you can Google symptoms, and it's going to come back. Cancer, some type of critical disease, and you're going to die, right? But to my surprise, Dr. Google said it was just a cyst. It was not harmful. Wait till my cycle come on, and to see if it comes and goes. And if it doesn't, just go see my physician. So 2 weeks later, I was scheduled an appointment with my physician because the lumps were still there. Just like Dr. Google, my physician stated, "You know what, April, I think it's nothing, but let's go have a mammogram anyway." 2 weeks later, I was at my mammograms appointment. And on the day of my appointment, they did a mammogram, and they asked for me to stay back because they didn't like what they saw on the mammogram. So they asked me to stay back and have an ultrasound done. I had the ultrasound done, and the lumps looked very suspicious on the ultrasound. So they asked for me to take a break, go have lunch, and come back so they can do a biopsy the same day. So I'm thinking to myself, how am I supposed to eat? You just put me through a mammogram.
Yeah, by
ultrasound. Now you tell me to go eat. I can't eat. But my husband and I, we left and came back, and they performed a biopsy. I had 5 lumps in one breast and 1 lump in the other breast. But still not really concerned, thinking, it's probably just a bunch of cysts in my breast. One wasn't really concerned at the time. And so it wasn't until I got the phone call. That was about a week later, and they said, "Mrs. Smith, I need you to come in. We have your results back." And I'm thinking, no, you can tell me whatever you need to tell me over the phone.
Oh my gosh.
Like, no. She's like, "No, I need you to come in the office. We need to give you your results in the office." I immediately called my husband. I'm like, "I just got the call. They want me to come in. I need you to take off from work." He just took a deep breath. He was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. So we went in, and my doctor, I had been seeing her ever since I moved to Georgia. She came in and she said, well, it is what we thought it was. I'm thinking, what do you mean what we thought it was? Because I never thought it was anything. And she left out crying, and my husband started crying.
Your doctor was crying?
Mm-hmm. She left out in tears. She couldn't even tell me I had cancer. She just said, it is what we thought it was. And she walked out. And then my husband, his tears just started streaming down his face. And I looked at him and I said, I don't know why you're crying. I said, I'm not going through this. I'm like, I'm not losing my hair. Something that you mentioned earlier. That's one thing we don't like to do is lose our hair.
Yeah.
All I knew about cancer is what I saw on TV. You sit in this chemo room, you take chemo, you lose your hair, and you die. That's all I knew about cancer.
Yeah.
And I knew that I couldn't go through that. I was just overcoming the barriers of being a teenage mom, having my daughters at 15 and 17. They were getting ready to leave the house. Well, one day, my oldest daughter had already left the house, and my youngest was in her senior year in high school, getting ready to go to college. So I'm like, okay, I'm just not getting over this empty nest thing, and now here comes cancer. Yeah. So my thing was, I didn't want to lose my hair. I didn't want to take chemo. And I left there. I immediately went to Whole Foods, and I opened up a book on how to heal from cancer holistically, and bought all these herbs, put in my basket, and went home, and with the attempt to heal from cancer holistically along with my faith. So that's the beginning of my journey with cancer.
Wow. First of all, I was going to say that your doctor, she needs her flowers. We need to give it to her, because reason why I said so, before you even said that she cried, was most of the people that I've interviewed, they actually broke the news to them over the phone.
I hear that
she
too.
insisted that you come into the office. That I interviewed someone that said she was actually driving when, like, why would they do that?
I hear that too. I hear that often, as I meet with women through our nonprofit organization. I hear a lot of women say they got their news over the phone. Wow. And here I am begging for my news over the phone.
Complete opposite.
Yes.
Wow. So what changed for you? How did you react to the news? I know you said you went to Whole Foods and got a whole bunch of herbs and all. But what were your first thoughts when you found out, aside from going to Whole Foods, and did you continue on that holistic journey, or? Yeah.
Absolutely. So for the first 6 months, that's okay. So for the first 6 months, I denied treatment. I didn't want to go through the chemo radiation treatment plan that they prescribed to me. I was determined to heal cancer through my faith and through herbs and just speaking positive affirmations over my body. However, that attempt failed. I started to suffer from insomnia, couldn't sleep. I was dealing with severe pain all throughout my body. The cancer was starting to spread through my lymph nodes. So I had to start treatment. Before all that, the oncologist obviously was calling me, Mrs. Smith, I need you to come in. You're still young. You can beat this. But I was afraid. And then I just remember one day laying on the couch, and the nurse from the oncologist's office, she called me and she pleaded with me through voicemail. She said, please come in. We can help you fight this. And it was just like an angelic voice to the message how she left me. And something just dropped in my spirit. April, call. You can beat this. So I called, scheduled my appointment. And then my husband and I, we went in. And I was numb, but I still had this strength in me to fight. Block out all the noise. Do what you need to do. You can get through this. So they was telling me my treatment plan. You have to take this and that and this and that. And this is where you're going to lose your hair. I just kind of like a wah, 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 wah in the background. That was going on. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm going to get through this. So I just showed up every day with this strength within me. I had a smile on my face. I had my lip gloss on every day. And just with a positive spirit. I always built myself up before each appointment. Before each appointment, I would go to Whole Foods. That was my store back then. I would go to Whole Foods, get a ginger shot and a green juice before every treatment. If it wasn't a ginger shot, it was wheatgrass shot. I was doing all that I can to boost my immune system to ensure I didn't get the side effects that came with cancer care. I can remember my oncologist team would ask me, what is that color drink you're drinking? And why are you always drinking that? And I'm thinking to myself, you putting all these toxins in my body. I need something to offset these side effects to make sure I'm also boosting my immune system. And I'm so grateful to say that all the side effects that came with cancer care, I was able to either offset them or either not have them at a severe state because of what I was doing on my own. The herbs and the exercising and the praying and the speaking positive affirmations over my body.
So, because I've heard a lot of people talk about, the holistic approach and the faith. What exactly is the holistic approach? Is it like the herbs without? But that's what I feel. I think it is, from all the explanation that everybody has given me. So that's what I think it is. But can you explain further what the holistic approach is?
Okay, for me, starting out, I really didn't want to take any treatment. So that's just going through a homeopathic doctor and they're treating you. So that's someone who practices holistic health, far as they use nothing but herbs to heal the body.
Okay.
And I attempted that on my own. I didn't seek out a homeopathic doctor. That was just me doing my very own research. However, you can combine the two. But anyway, you combine the two. You can still take the traditional treatment, which is your chemo, your radiation, and have the surgery and still take in herbs. So that's the approach that I end up taking.
Okay. And that worked for you?
That worked for me, and I still do it to this day. After I finished all my treatment, as far as chemo and radiation, and had a double mastectomy, they put you on a maintenance drug. And I actually came off my maintenance drug I would say 3 years prior to them wanting me to come off and just continue on with herbs. And I would still send my oncologist every 6 months, make sure my blood counts was on point, and it was. But I just saw my oncologist 2 weeks ago, and I can tell you my numbers look great. And again, that's for me taking in herbs every day.
Okay, that's good. So I was going to ask, when you found out you had cancer, what stage was that?
2B.
2B?
2B, yes. And that's because the cancer has spread to my lymph nodes on the right side.
Okay. I've not heard, I've only heard stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4. I didn't know that there was a 2B, 2.
Yes. Okay. It initially started in the breast, and being that if it was just localized in the breast, it would be 2 at the stage that I was in. However, since it spread it to my lymph node, it was stage 2B, meaning I was on the verge of going to 3 and had I not seek treatment.
Okay. So how did your family and friends take it? Did you feel the need to go public with it, or was it something you just didn't want to talk about?
Initially, I didn't want to talk about it. I asked my husband not to tell anybody. I thought he and I would just be able to go through it on our own. But I didn't realize that he needed support too. I hid it from my daughters. And I eventually told them because I didn't want them to go to the mailbox one day and see cancer on an envelope with my name on it and scare them. So I eventually told them about 4 months in. And definitely told them before I lost my hair. Close friends and family, I text them. When I look back, I think that was crazy. But I texted them. I told them I had cancer. Don't text me or call me right now. I need to deal with this on my own first. And then we can talk about it later. We all laugh about it now. It was like, I can't believe you did us like that.
Yeah.
But I had to deal with it on my own. I had to build up my strength and my faith first. And once I did, I was able to deal with it publicly.
Gotcha. Okay. So tell me about your chemo experience. I know you said you combined both of them, the holistic and chemo. How was the journey mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically? And then how many rounds of chemo did you have to be on? I know you also talked about radiation. How many rounds of radiation, and how was radiation as well? How was the whole treatment journey?
Yeah. So I went through 17 rounds of chemotherapy. Honestly, from the stories that I've heard, how chemotherapy was really harsh to a lot of people who we support through our organization. I'm grateful to say that my experience wasn't that way, and I would like to contribute to the things that I was doing. On my worst day, I may have suffered from a headache. One of the treatments that I took, which we call the Red Devil, I suffered from severe headache. Lost taste, eating food tastes like metal. There were some days I suffered from that. And then of course neuropathy. I'm quite sure you heard that a lot. A lot of people suffer from neuropathy from the chemotherapy. Yes, that's when you get severe pain in your feet and hands. But that was it for the most part. Of course, losing my hair, I got before it. I went to my stylist. She turned me away from the mirror because I didn't want to see myself without my hair. And she cut me down, shaved me down, and did a quick weave. So throughout my treatment, I would quick weave. So I never saw myself without hair. And each time I went to her off hours, either at 5 o'clock in the morning or her last client of the day. And she would always turn me away and put a quick weave. So I always wore a bob during treatment.
So wait, what's quick weave? That's like a week?
Mm-hmm. Yes, okay. That's when she would put a cap over my head, kind of like a stocking cap, and then she would glue the tracks down on the cap.
Oh.
Yeah. So, and for me, it helped me feel like I wasn't going through anything. It gave me a sense of normalcy. Not seeing myself without my hair. Yep. And again, I never allowed my daughters or my husband to see me without my hair. And I remember days where my hair would itch really bad and I wanted to take it off. My husband was like, take it off. I'm like, nope. I can't let you see me like this. I can't let myself see me like this. And it gave me strength to fight too, just to see myself with hair. So I went through the 17 rounds of chemotherapy. After that, I had both breasts removed, the double mastectomy. And then I had the expanders put in. After that, I went through 30 days of radiation, daily radiation. And then after healing from that, 2 months later, I had the implants put in. I can honestly say that I had such a great support system, and I did so much to build myself up mentally, and keeping a positive mindset, which all helped me deal with it gracefully, with grit and grace. I always tell people cancer isn't pretty. And in my early stage, I was doing the pink thing, because I was following into what society said about cancer. But after a while, I'm like, this is not cute. You really have to mentally build yourself up to fight. And that's something that I did each day that I went out, before my chemo appointments and before radiation, just constantly reading and speaking positive affirmations on my body to build myself up for the fight.
That's amazing. Like I'm just looking at you. I'm like, where did all that strength come from? Where did all that strength come from?
And you know, it came from me being a teenage mom. I got pregnant at 14, had my first daughter at 15, and my second daughter at 17. And the odds were stacked so high against me at such a young age.
Yeah.
A lot of my peers and adults around me didn't think I was going to make it. They counted me out. Oh, she's going to drop off from high school. She's going to be on welfare. And I heard those whispers. So I did all that I can to overcome those odds. I graduated from high school, went on to college. I moved to Atlanta when I was 21, leaving all my family behind. So all that strength that I needed to overcome the barriers of being a teenage mom, I needed that and more to overcome cancer, to answer your question.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Where did you move from? You say you moved from Atlanta?
Pensacola, Florida.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you're Florida babe. Okay, so I have one more question. I'm sure I can stress how important a good support system is. I mean, you yourself said it just now. So, what would you like to see to other survivors and their families that are still going through the process or about to start going through the process?
It can be scary. I know for me, I felt that I can go through cancer just with my husband by my side, which he was amazing. He was my primary caretaker. But your caretakers need care too.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go in it too long, but my husband was so stressed out. He didn't show it to me, but he suffered from a stress-related stroke 2 days after me having a double mastectomy. So it does take a village. Don't be afraid to lean into your community. As a result of my diagnosis, I started a nonprofit organization called the Survivor's Nest, where we provide direct support to women impacted by cancer. Our main focus is health and wellness. We provide resources, financial and education resources, so women can get support during and after cancer care. And we also provide support. That's mental support. If we don't have the capacity to support you, we also have sister nonprofits we work closely with. And we build a sisterhood. And that's what we encourage women who are going through, is to lean in the community, lean on their sisterhood. The Survivors Nest have a motto that we are stronger together. That's our motto. We solely believe that. And we even ask the family members, lean in that community too, because it can be hard on everybody.
Yeah.
But just really lean in and don't be afraid.
Yeah.
You're going to have to let those walls down and be vulnerable.
Yeah. I always say that even the caretakers and the family members also go through it. They may not go through it physically, but they go through it mentally, emotionally.
That's right. We can't leave them out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your journey. We're going to go to the next phase of this session now, which is the interview stage. So, guys, please stay tuned. Don't leave, and we'll be right back. everyone, so we're back and this is the finished look. Okay, so April, I have this tradition where I always get the autograph of everyone I interview. So if you would please sign your autograph on my t-shirt, I'll really appreciate it. Anyways,
honored. I think this is so nice. No, thank you.
Thank you. Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. I have this little gift for you. I hope you like it. Thank you so much for being on my platform.
Thank you.
And I really appreciate you being here. And my favorite part of this session is so I have a crown as a sash for you. I'm currently Miss Nigeria for a pageant called Women of Achievement, and what I do in my own platform, Evolved by Evore, is I always give my ladies a crown and a sash. This is just to remind you that you're a queen, you're a warrior, you're a fighter. No matter what life throws at you, you know, you're an overcomer. You're going to overcome whatever. So I know a lot of times and a lot of people that I've interviewed that, you know, fine and all whatnot, sometimes they still go back to that space. And I always tell them, the Bible says affliction will not arise a second time. So I want you to always remember that if you ever go back into that space. And I want you to wear your crown and your sash like a queen, like a true fighter, a true warrior that you are. Yeah, so the crown and the sash is just supposed to be a reminder of who you are whenever you get back into that space of, oh, is this going to, you know, come back again or whatever. I want you to always remember who you are. Okay?
Thank you. That's so thoughtful. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
No problem. All right. So from one queen to another.
It's my first crown.
First of many.
Thank you. It's an honor.
Thank you so much. I hope you love your crown, Lisa.
I love my crown. I feel like the queen that I am.
Okay. Thank you so much. So we're going to go into the last phase, the picture taking. But before we go, do you have anything you want to tell like survivors out there and their caretakers? Any last word for people out there?
I do have some final words. And Evore, thank you. You know, what you did today and what you have done other women, it speaks a lot of your character and who you are. You're not still on the sidelines. I love the fact that you're using your gifts and your talents to give back and to make women such as myself feel special. Especially someone like me that's approaching 10 years cancer-free. Oftentimes, we get forgotten. And knowing that, you know, yes, you've been through the fight, yes, you're beyond it, but I still see you. So thank you so much. I am honored. I feel so great. And I feel special. More than anything, I feel special. So thank you. Final thoughts to warriors and caretakers. One thing that was good for me when I was going through is that, and I had to tell myself that cancer is not a death sentence. So know that it's not a death sentence. You can still live your life during and after cancer care.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Cancer is not a death sentence.
Yes.
I like that. Thank you so much, April. I really enjoyed this interview. If you liked this interview, please like, comment, subscribe, and share with everyone you know. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Thank you, April, for coming on my platform. I really appreciate it. Thank you, everyone, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.
Bye.